Hey guys, Jeff from Home Renovision. Today in the backyard, we are installing a gas fire pit. We're creating an entertaining space that'll help take the chill out of the air when you're having people over in the evening this summer. Cheers. So this fire pit here is a modern, lightweight concrete structure, and it's really designed so that the four leg points here, they're reinforced into the corners. They carry all the load. So when you're transporting this, you gotta be really careful to not put too much weight and pressure on these little corners here, because you don't wanna stress out the side and crack it, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna have two guys carry this, because I got a broken toe today. We're gonna just roll it up on the side, carry it like this, keep all of that weight on these inside corners. That'll alleviate all the stress, and we can get it back there without having difficulty. You can see that really this is already pre-designed. All we got to do is quick connect our gas right here. We're good to go. Right there is good. What we're going to do is we're going to lift it into position onto the blocks. We'll just take this back facing out and set it right there. There you go. There we go. Good. Well done, gentlemen. Brills. Set it right there. So, if you know me at all on this channel, I like to know the end from the beginning. I don't like to just blow ahead and do something and then figure something out the hard way. So I'm going to exploit the situation right here. This is a gas line purchased. It's called a barbecue extension gas line. Anybody has one of these houses where you got a gas line out the back, it's usually half inch. A half inch gas line is designed for single purpose. So what you can do, because they come as a quick connect, kind of like an air supply hose for your air compressor. You can buy this bad boy, which is a 34 foot, or you can buy a 25 foot or a 24 foot, and I've seen 16s and 12s. This one is designed to go all the way from the other side of the deck, where the corner of the house is, and it quick connects onto that gas line. What we're gonna do is we're gonna feed it through the pipe that we've already set up in advance as part of our organization, because at the time I couldn't reach my gas guy, and I wasn't sure if we had to run like a soft copper line out here in a conduit or what the deal was. He got back to me and said, no, just buy yourself one of these bad boys and off you go. You don't need me at all. You gotta love a gas guy who doesn't try to charge you for doing something that you can do yourself. Anyway, here's the point. We're just going to get rid of the packaging, open everything up, have a quick read through the instructions. We're going to take a look, identify what we're going to do, because they generally send you enough for propane and natural gas. We're going to identify what fitting is for what, all right? And this is something you can do at home. So you too could go buy a fireplace, have it delivered to your house. The secret here is, because you can't split a half-inch line at the house, you've got to actually go over there and physically reconnect and switch from your fire pit back to your barbecue when you need it, okay? That's really the only inconvenience, but considering I don't need a permit, I can do it myself, and I can do it in about 30 minutes. Definitely worth the. Now, if you want, you can call Brad or another gas guy over, and they can run a brand new gas line through your house at 3/4 inch, and then you can put a splitter on it. But in this situation, the basement's already finished, and the homeowners are opting to just forego with the extra expense and be inconvenienced a little bit to have to change the gas line over. Her, it's not a big deal. It's not worth spending the money. All right, here we go. All right, there's your flare. That's your quick connect fitting, and that's my thread. All right, nice and easy. Now, you'll have to excuse me, I'm just gonna go through the instructions real quick, and I'll give you the short and skinny in just a second. So I read through the instructions, they couldn't be any simpler. This is the quick connect, and the house has the release and catch mechanism, so all we do is stick that on, and when we're not using it, you can stick the cap over here, keep water out of the line. Nice and easy. This end is the end that connects inside. They've already got it set up, so this is already connected. This is a male into a female. It needs a flare connection. Now I'm gonna explain this to you here. Inside, there is a smooth metal ring, okay? Now, so here's the skinny. This is your gas supply line. This is where you connect it to the house. That is a quick connect. You can always tell because it's got the bar across the top, right? Keep this, so when you're not using it, you can cap it up and seal it against rain getting inside the line. That's important, all right? Don't miss that step. Next, at the other end, 34 feet later, we come up here with a male thread. This is already connected to the hose. All we have to do is stick this in here. Boom. Done. Now, because we're going male to female thread, we have to use the Teflon tape. Very important. Don't just use plumber's Teflon, the white or the blue. Get the orange. This stuff is for the gas. Very specific. Make sure you buy it. Don't cheat. We're going to connect all this. We've got our conduit underneath the deck. We're going to send Matt over there to tie up the other end. We're going to fish it through. We're going to cut a hole. We're going to connect our ends. We're going to put our fire in place. But before we do that, we're going to test for leaks, okay? So let's just get through the process. Matty, I guess it starts at your end. So you're going to go over there, connect my string to that end. All right, so remember in a previous video, we were doing the decking. We set up the conduit and we did a measurement. And we went 64 inches, finish to finish, right to the middle. And that's where our pipe is sitting. So now what I gotta do is do a little bit of math. Minus 20 makes it 44 inches to the middle. All right, there's 44. And there's 44. So let's do this one more time. There we go. This is my joist. This is right here. So that's where my gas line is. So we're gonna cut a hole big enough to get that through nice and comfortable without risking compromising anything. Piece of cake. Here we go. Now, bear in mind, we did this a few weeks ago, if I remember. It's been 2 weeks since we started this project, hasn't it? Let's find out if I remember what the heck I was doing. And I want to make the hole big enough that I can bring the flexible line comfortable. So I don't want to just drill a 2-inch hole. I'm going to give myself space to reach down underneath the deck. I'm just going to cut straight across the board, board to board. Here we are. And there she is. All right. Okay, what kind of knot are you using?
That never lets go.
Okay. And that's like going to be a smaller diameter than that nut there, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so then the plan here, Matt, is I want you to feed it, and I'm just going to get rid of the slack. Okay? So you're feeding the line while I'm gently pulling. Okay?
All right, we're in.
We're in the pipe?
Yep.
Okay, so you just keep on feeding it. Tell me if you got a knot or anything you got to undo.
Keep pulling.
I got a bit of a resistance here. Are you feeding it? Push the line.
I cannot. That is the gas line.
So then what is our problem?
Getting caught on something.
Okay, so I want you to twist your gas line.
Yeah, we're getting something for sure.
Well, there's an elbow. So we got to snake it around the elbow. So I need you to literally twist your line. Shaking won't help. Listen to what I'm saying. Take your line and like literally twist it in one singular direction.
That's the corner, I think.
Oh yeah. I never had this much string on me. There we are. And boom. Gas line.
Okay, so question.
Yeah.
Wait, this is how much I have left.
I'm sorry, what?
This is all I have left here.
Okay, so you guys always say we like it when you make a mistake, Jeff, so you can show us how to fix it. So here we are. I ordered a 4-foot hose. It was the longest thing available. And when we just measured this off, I should have 1 or 2 feet extra. But we're actually almost 4 feet short. So somewhere in between the accounting for rise and run and all this, we're just ending up a little short. Now here's the good news. We put in the conduit as a backup plan. We don't actually need it. My gas guy says we can just run it direct. So we're gonna have to just get on our bellies in the dirt, in the mud, and crawl around, fish it through the structure of the deck. Lovely. We'll sort this out. Actually, you know what? Let's take off a couple skirt boards, Matt, and we'll just fish it that way, like running electrical through a wall. All right, well, let's just get her done. Here we go. Well, we got that run. That only took a little bit of dirt and effort in. Here we go. Now, for gas line Teflon, you want to pull it nice and tight till you see the threads coming through, okay? You don't want to go like that. You want to, whoop. Yeah, here we go. You want to get a little bit of tension on that. Hold it with your thumb. Okay? Stretch it on nice and tight. Pick up the contour of that threading. Here we go. Go backwards until you hear it click. You don't want to be cross-threading, right? Why is that not going on? All right guys, so here's the difference. This little fitting is what I need to connect the supply line to the fireplace. So this side is the same size threading as far as the gap as the other side. But when I look at this, when I type my crescent wrench on there, that's the gap size. This side, 32nd of an inch wider, so it doesn't fit. So I gotta go to the hardware store and I gotta get a conversion. I gotta go a flare end to a flare end that's this exact size. It's a trip to the store that's not necessary. I don't know why, beats the living daylights out of me, but just so you know, this came with the fireplace. It'd be nice if that was the same size threading on both sides. Not sure why the confusion, because that's what's being supplied to me, and that fits the small flare end just perfectly. It's a small frustration to make an otherwise quick job. You know, there's been like, what, 2 different hiccups on this now? It wouldn't be a right day. It wouldn't be a day of me working on a job site DIY if I didn't have to go to the store 2 or 3 times. It's just the way it is. All right, cheers. All right, so you know on this channel, I actually did a live show last night talking to one of my members, and they asked me, what do I not do? I said, I don't do gas. And here I am doing gas. This is not my forte. I'm just DIYing this like a regular Joe Blow. This is what they gave me. 3/8 outside and 3/8 MIP. What I need is a 3/8 outside and 3/8 outside, both flared. So this is what I got at the store. Because I've done a little touch of gas before, it was for the fire pit. I did a table at my old farmhouse. One of the guys on the channel, who's a technician, obviously chimed in and said, hey, by the way, you don't need to use this tape on the MIP fitting, because that one had an MIP fitting. And I said, interesting. Oh no, I use it on the flare. That's what it was. And he says, you don't have to use it on the flares, guys. Just the MIP. So let's get rid of the confusion, because I think I just confused you more. Tape on MIP fittings, no tape on these flares, okay? So this is a flare fitting, has a little rounded edge. This is just a standard fitting. If you're using this to make the connection, you use the tape. If you're using this, no tape, all right? 2 steps that we gotta do here. One of them is we're going to tighten everything up really, really good here. Okay, so we're gonna use my crescent wrench and we're going to tighten both directions at the same time. Now I have actually seen my gas guy use wrenches before, and he spares no strength. He goes in full Rambo on this, okay? Actually holding this the wrong way. There's more torque this way. You've got to be freaking kidding me. Look at this. I just split the line from Amazon. I just ripped it in half. Bare hands. I wasn't even using all my force yet. Okay, we're gonna pick this video up on Friday. I gotta order another one of these lines. We will finish this video in 48 hours. Okay, let's do, oh, hey, there we go. Here's the hose. Ah, Jesus, okay, here you go. Okay. This is gonna be really interesting. This is not as coil-proof resistant as the other ones, that's for sure. Okay, all right, so we got another hose. This one's only 30 feet, which is gonna be really tight. We're gonna try to go a little more direct, straight to our connection, and it might be just fit. Fortunately, my assistant has to go from here, out of the deck, back under the deck. It's gonna be an interesting ride here. Okay, so once again, here we go. This time though, however, the goal is to not do it so tight that I split the fitting. Don't know my own strength sometimes, eh? Here we go. Let's go finger tight. And for the love of God, just take her easy. Okay, now we're gonna get some soapy water in a cup. We're going to connect the other end of the hose, do a soapy water test on the gas line to make sure that this is not leaking. Okay, on. That'll allow the pressure to come and work its way through. Just so you know, gas lines are only pressurized at half of 1 PSI. You gotta be a little patient. I'm gonna sit here until I can smell gas. Okay, we're good. Now I'm gonna turn the line off. So now we still have this pressurized line. We're gonna get the soapy water. There we go. And we're gonna look for bubbles here. That is really nice. Okay. Now, if there was gas leaking here, you'd get air bubbles. Kind of like when you were a kid, you'd have the little round thing and you'd pass it through the air. Hey, this is exactly what would happen, all right? And we are bubble free. You can do the smell test. Smells like hand soap. All right, here we go. We did it, we're connected. Now let's roll this into position. Matt, why don't you come over and give me a hand? You can turn the gas line off while we do this if you like. Here we go. Let's just roll it first, Matty. All right, we'll get this side set down, so hold in between. Okay, how's that feeling there, Rick?
I'll need you to come to towards the fence a little bit.
Towards the wooden fence or the PVC?
No, I won't need that at all. I think it's good to just put it down.
Let's set that. We're gonna just lift out the wood, and then what we're gonna do is we'll measure this off, and then we'll reposition. I think we're almost exactly where we wanna be though. Now we want a measuring tape. We're at 26. Wow, that's even square. Okay, and 23. Yeah, okay. So the 26 was perfect. We want to move 3 inches towards the privacy screen. Is that going to work? Let's get this line right over that gap, okay? Okay. Okay, let's try that. How's that all look and feel down there?
Fine here.
Good? Okay. So now I'm too short. We're going this way 3 inches. We're gonna go 26 and 26
I'm
and
square on my end.
I'm half an inch off. And we're coming 3 inches. So you're gonna bring that onto the groove. Okay, and then
Toward you.
yeah, towards me, to the groove, go.
Back to me.
Okay, let's check this out. That's 25.
25.
I'm at 24 now instead of 26. That half an inch that we moved ended up being 2 inches. 1 inch this way, 1 inch that way. Okay, ready, go. Right there. And a half, and a half.
Cool.
Half an inch your way.
That's his resting place.
Half an inch your way.
My way?
Oh, I'm gonna be so perfect, that's gonna be scary. Okay, try that. Boom. I mean, when you've got an opportunity to be perfect, you just take the time to be perfect.
26 quarter. 26
All right. Quarter that way. You ready?
Yep.
And I am loving the squareness of that. Okay. All right, now we got to add the stone. We're going to turn this on.
Wait.
There it goes. It's going to catch up. Without the stones, there's nothing to diffuse the gas. But the burner is working well. I'm going to just, my experience, I'm going to also lift up the edge here and check underneath. Yeah, there is no gas leak, no fire. All right, good. So that's it for that. Okay, guys, so there's 2 steps to the rocks. This particular manufacturer suggests using the lava rock to cover the burner. All right. And we'll do that. We got 2 bags of that stuff. We're just going to use all the material that's provided. Ah, it's so lovely and dirty. All right. Okay. And then we have decorative stones that go on as well. The key here is you're looking at starting this up for the first time. You got to burn it for about an hour or so after you get it all set up. The decorative stones could have hairline cracks in them, and if they're wet when you start the fire, they can blow up. So there is a recommendation by the company, you know, set it all up, get a nice dry night, set the fire, stay away from it for a little while in case the rock blows up, right? You don't want to have shrapnel in your face, and then you're good to go after that. Okay, so we're just going to continue this. All right, before we get the final shot, it does come with a table, a 2-inch rise on the legs, which is really convenient. And this is what you use to protect the surface. And there's also a cover that goes on it in 4-season climates for this reason. The pits in the concrete, these little holes, if you allow the water to get in there and then it freezes, it'll blow the concrete up. When you do get to the point where you're getting weather, make sure it's covered. Not a problem for folks in the south. Here we go. Turn this on. There we go. Now we're gonna let this burn for about an hour or 2 and walk away in case a rock blows up. Just to recap, it's only a couple 100 pounds. It's lightweight concrete. You can have a fire on your deck. It's no different than having a barbecue. Ooh, that's great heat.